Welcome to Inside Warhawk Football. I'm Sean Tian here with head coach Lance Leipold of the Whitewater Warhawks. And Coach Leipold, now Buffalo State, they come in here on Saturday. It's the Warhawks' first loss in 47 games. What did you tell your players after the game? I mean, these are a bunch of players that have never lost at this level.
Well, that's going to be an interesting challenge, Sean, that we're going to have to work through. And one of the things that we addressed after the game is that this week's preparation is going to be very important on how we take a step forward. We need to look at the film, which we'll do here on Monday, and get things corrected. And before you make any vast judgments emotionally after a game, I think it's best to make sure that we have time as coaches to evaluate and then make needed adjustments.
Despite the loss now, what were you most happy to see from your team on Saturday?
Well, as I always am, I think we competed, and that's the thing we asked. First of all, our effort level was still very solid. That effort is not the issue at this time. We have to improve our execution and improve on assignments and things like that. And we have some guys who are new at their positions, and we're going through some growing pains. But I'm very confident of our senior leadership and the attitude of our football team right now that we'll take the necessary steps to improve.
Now, one of your receivers, Tyler Huber, had 79 catches last year, a big part of that national championship team from a year ago. He was hurt on Saturday, an apparent knee injury. What can you tell us about his status for Saturday?
Well, we're waiting for some final things, but right now it doesn't look very promising at this time. And as we move forward, someone else is going to have to step up.
Speaking of wide receivers now, your wide receiver coach, he's new to the staff, but he's a rather familiar face in the conference. John Meek, I believe that's how you pronounce it?
Mish.
John Mish, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's right.
John Mish, he used to coach Stevens Point, coached there for 23 years. How has that benefited your staff? How's that benefiting your team for Saturday?
Well, I think there's some things probably that'll give us some insight on maybe some personnel and things like that. But obviously, when there's a new coaching staff and a transition taking place, there's changes within the program as far as terminology or what they're doing scheme-wise. But to have someone like Coach Mish, who's been in our league for so long, he's an outstanding recruiter. He's been a great sounding board for myself as a head coach to go through different scenarios on things, and it just gives us another reference point to which is already a very quality staff of assistant coaches in my estimation.
Now on Saturday, you guys are playing UW-Stevens Point, and you're honoring. We're honoring your former head coach, and your former mentor and former coach yourself, Bob Brezowitz. Mm-hmm. What does that mean to you?
Well, I think it means a lot for Warhawk football and Warhawk football history. This building that we're in right now would not be here without the efforts of Bob Brezowitz. And Bob influenced so many people in his time as a coach and as a student athlete here. I think it's very fitting that that's what we're doing, and to name this building after him. I think for anyone that comes to the north end of campus here at UW-Whitewater, to see the names Perkins and Brezowitz outside of the two buildings is very fitting because they are the pillars of Warhawk football.
How has Coach Brezowitz helped you as a head coach? I mean, do you still contact him here and there? Or
I think we communicate some way during the season, almost weekly. In some ways, he ate with the team on Friday night with us, as well as Coach Perkins. I've known Coach Brezowitz since I was about 14 years old. So to say that he hasn't had a high impact in my life other than my own father would be a misstatement. So he's been very influential. He's been there when I needed help and even background or support in something that we've been doing here the last 5+ seasons. So it should be an exciting day for him and his family, and like I said, well deserved.
Stevens Point on Saturday. What are the keys going to be to defeating the Pointers?
Well, they're coming off a big win, very decisive win against the University of Dubuque, a team that won its conference last year. They're playing well. They're going to come in here with a lot of confidence, and but again, it's going to come back to what we're doing and what we're improving on. We have to improve and take a step as a football team and be able to sustain some drives offensively and put some points on the board. Defensively, to give up 7 points is is a good day's work, but yet to let a team drive 75 yards in a minute and a half is something that I know none of us are pleased with as well. And we have to start getting a little bit more of our special teams. We've been just surviving in special teams right now. We have to take a step there. So all three phases, like always, has to improve. And the thing that I've said is that we've approached Sundays and Mondays here very consistently for the last 5 years. And that's the way we're going to go about our business this week as well, and look for dividends to be paid on Saturday.
That was Inside Warhawk Football. I'm Sean Tien, along with Coach Lance Leipold. Thank you, Coach.
Thanks for having us.